Rameshwaram, where legends linger in the sea breeze and every gust smells of myth and mystery. But before diving into the divine, I had to begin with a note to the OG trip starter, Lord Ganapati. The plan was simple: auto to SBC station, then catch the overnight Mysore Thoothukudi Express. By sunrise, I found myself in Madurai, half asleep, half baffled on how I even got there. But there it was, my pre booked cab, waiting like a loyal sidekick. Yes, that's me, awkwardly attempting to be in front of the camera for once. We glided over the iconic Pamban Bridge and made a quick stop at White Hotel, and then I hailed an auto. But just not any auto. This one was part rickshaw, part transformer, and large enough to have dreams of becoming a bus. As we cruised into Rameshwaram's temple zone, my heart started humming its own little bhajan. And then there it was, the majestic West Tower rising like it had been standing tall just for me all this time. What a vibe! Rameshwaram, let's do this! Welcome to Ramanatha Swami Temple, Rameshwaram. I arrived early before 3 pm, only to find out the temple opens at 3:30 pm. So instead of pacing impatiently, I decided to take a slow parikrama around the sprawling 15 acres complex. The air was thick with legends and devotions, and I found myself reflecting on the story that makes this place so extraordinary. After his epic showdown with Ravana, Lord Rama came here to atone for killing a Brahmin. To restore cosmic balance, he stopped at this very spot to worship Lord Shiva. Hanuman was sent racing to Mount Kailash to fetch a Shivling, but as legend goes, he took his time. Resourceful as ever, Sita stepped in. She sculpted a Shivalinga out of the sand, and instant sacred vibes. No waiting required. When Hanuman finally returned, perhaps a bit miffed, Rama, in his wisdom, installed both lingas side by side. But here's the juicy detail. Some say there are actually 2 Shivalingas brought back by Hanuman. Stay tuned to find out where each one is placed. Rameshwaram isn't just a temple visit, it's a deeply spiritual journey. It's the only site that features in both the Char Dham and the 12 Jyotirlinga circuits, giving it a truly unique place in India's spiritual geography. Anchored by the powerful Jyotirlinga, the temple radiates Shiva's timeless presence. From the serene 5 am Spatika Darshan to soul-stirring evening Aarti, the experience feels like coming full circle. Performing Abhishekam to Lord Ramanatha Swami was profoundly humbling, like offering a piece of myself to something vast and eternal. At Agni Tirtham, the sea felt like a living blessing, and inside the temple I was bathed by the water from the 22 sacred Tirthams, each drop washing away more than just physical. Then came the unexpected moments: Rama Lakshmi, the gentle temple elephant, and a cat bowing motionless before a deity, as if it too understood. It reminded me that divine isn't confined to rituals. It's in the quiet grace of animals, in stillness, in surprise. Stay till the end. This journey has just begun. As with most temple visits, I stuck to my usual darshan strategy. If the crowd looked heavy, I'd go for the ticketed queue. If not, I'd walk in with a free darshan line. That afternoon was quiet, a weekday lull, so I went the freeway. I entered through the Setupati Mandapam before the East Rajagopuram. Built by the Setupati kings of Ramanathapuram, it carries the old world grace, though built recently. Then came Nandi, 17 and a half feet of stone stillness. Calm, unblinking, facing the Garbhagriha with a devotion that didn't waver. I paused there, offering darshan to Nandi, Dhwajastambha, and the nearby shrines of Ganapati and Subramanya. Each one had its own pull, its own quiet gravity. If you're in the general queue, you will be taken to the Ramanatha Swami Sannidhi from here. If you've taken the ticketed route, you will pass by the Sri Kashi Vishwanatha Sannidhi first. That's where the linga brought by Hanuman is enshrined. Don't miss it. The Jyotirlinga here, Ramanatha Swami, is believed to have been installed by the Lord Rama himself. Imagine that! Rama, the warrior, and the devotee standing here in prayer. And here I was, a mere mortal, at the same location, trying to focus in the stillness of flickering diyas, praying to Lord Shiva. Then comes the Somaskandara Sannidhi, where Shiva, Parvati and Murugan sit together. Nearby is a corridor of saints, the 63 Nayanmars. You don't need to know all their names, their devotion speaks through silence. I reached the shrine of Parvatavardhini Amman. Graceful, still, powerful. Her energy felt like balance. The kind that comes after fire has passed. And just when I thought I'd seen it all, I entered the Sukravara Mandapam. Wow! A hall where even silence has rhythm. It houses the 8 Lakshmis, Adi, Santana, Gaja, Dhana, Dhanya, Jaya, Aishwarya and Veera Lakshmi. The northern pillars show goddesses like Lakshmi, Chamundi, Rajarajeshwari. The southern ones feature Shivadurga, Annapurna and Dwarapalakas. Every Friday night, the goddess is believed to hold court here. A ritual I have bookmarked for another visit. By now, I needed a pause. I found it in the Navashakti Mandapam. From where I sat, I could see the East Gopuram mirrored in the calm waters of Shivatirtham. A local nearby leaned in and said softly, in the olden days, pilgrims would first take a dip here, not just to cleanse the body, but to let go of the baggage. And sitting there, watching that still water, I knew exactly what he meant. For me, a temple isn't just about darshan, it's about sadhana. Naam Japa is the simplest and most profound, and I always seek a corner that truly grounds me. I found that corner by the Setu Madhava Tirtham, with a view of East Gopuram and the Kalasa of the main temple's Garbhagriha. On my first evening, the only other person there was a foreigner in deep meditation. I joined from a distance, doing my own quiet chant. That moment, the moon rising behind the Gopuram, the twilight colors, the sound of water being sprinkled on the devotees created a divine stillness I kept returning to. One of the must-do experiences at Ramanatha Swami temple is the parikrama of its iconic third corridor, the longest temple corridor in the world. Walking the 1200 meters of pillared silence is a humbling journey. The space seems to breathe with the weight of history, echoing stories whispered across centuries. Another unmissable experience is the Spatikalinga Darshan. Arrive by 4 am at the East Gate, line for the ticketed entry forms to the right of the East Rajgopuram. Carry water as it gets muggy inside and there's no drinking water outlets. Once the Garbhagriha opens at 5 am, the line moves quickly. In front of a curtain that conceals the Garbhagriha of Ramanatha Swami, you will find the small but powerful Spatikalinga. Originally housed at Sringeri Mutt, it was moved to Rameshwaram only recently in 2021. And this isn't the only new addition to the temple. To learn more about the fascinating history and recent changes, watch the second episode. After the Spatika Darshan, most devotees begin the sacred Tirtham ritual, starting with a dip at the Agni Tirtham. Here is my insider tip. Go in the afternoon when the crowds thin out. This beachfront along the Bay of Bengal in Rameshwaram is steeped in legend. It is believed to be the site where goddess Sita underwent her Agni Pariksha, a trial by fire to prove her purity. The place is named after Agni, the fire god, who is said to have witnessed this ordeal and then bathed in the sea here to purify himself. After my Agni Tirtham dip, I made my way towards the North Gopuram. At the North Gate, devotees pay a small fee and then wait, often dripping and shivering for up to 2 hours. My mother had asked me to bring back some Tirtham, but the chaos at the first well almost made me give up. That's when a tout appeared, offering a shortcut. For rupees 500, he whisked me past the serpentine queues and straight through all the 22 Tirtham wells, each one greeting me with a bracing bucket of holy water. Yes, it was rushed, and yes, it felt a bit like cheating, receiving bucketful of sacred Tirtham while others made do with a mere sprinkle. Later that day, I returned for Abhishekam. The priests performed quick chants in the corridors, followed by Abhishekam in the Garbhagriha. Short but meaningful, and yes, accompanied by the gentle expectation of Dakshina by multiple priests. Around the temple are smaller shrines, some tucked away, others rarely visited. The one that shook me was a Nataraja Samiti. Enveloped in tens of thousands of Rudrakshas, the space was mesmerizing, the air thick with mystery. To intensify the energy further, scores of Naga idols are worshipped here to nullify the Nagadosha. As if that wasn't enough, something unexpected stopped me in my tracks. As I walked behind the Garbhagriha, I froze. A cat, fully prostrated in Shashtanga Namaskara, lay facing Patanjali's Samadhi. It held the space like a seasoned yogi, utterly still for what felt like eternity. Then it looked at me, unblinking, unwavering, as if asking me to leave. And I did. A moment of pure goosebumps. Talking of animals, Ramalakshmi, the temple elephant, quickly became a daily highlight. She would arrive around 4:30 p.m., gently accept dakshina from my palm, and bless me with her trunk. As someone who deeply loves animals, I have mixed feelings about temple elephants. I can't deny the joy their presence brings. There is something profoundly touching about their calm, majestic presence in a sacred space. I know there are conversations about replacing them with mechanical replicas, but I can't imagine that ever evoking the same connection. Surely there must be a way to find a compassionate middle path, one that honors both the animals and our traditions. Every evening by 5:30 p.m., the temple begins preparation for Sairachya Puja, the evening Aarti. The ritual starts at Ganapati Sannidhi, accompanied by the resonant sounds of Nadaswaram, and proceeds towards the sanctum of Stamanatha Swami. Join the general queue and position yourself near the temple entrance to avoid being ushered up prematurely. The main Aarti at 6 p.m. at Ramanatha Swami's Garbhagriha is a powerful experience, followed by an equally vibrant Aarti at Parvati Amman Sannidhi around 6:30 p.m. More than a ritual, Aarti is full sensory immersions, a rhythm of sound, sight, and sacred presence.
नागेन्द्रहाराय त्रिलोचनाय भस्मांगरागाय महेश्वराय.
A temple is never just stone and structure. It's a living, pulsing world. And in Ramanatha Swami, I found not just God, but moments of deep stillness, a touch of mystery, and a strange little cat teaching me how to be still. As I ended the day at Agni Tirtham, with moonlight shimmering on the Bay of Bengal, little boats bobbing like thoughts adrift in a meditative mind, I watched devotees splash, some in ritual, others in silence. And I found myself asking, why do pilgrimage sites pulse with such energy? As the temple lights twinkled in the distance and the sky lit up in rhythmic bursts, the answer revealed itself. It's not the stones or the sea, but the countless hearts that have come here, seeking, shedding, and surrendering. Perhaps that's what makes a place sacred, the weight of the human longing, the echo of a million prayers that never needed words. Because in the end, whether we come for faith, forgiveness, or just to feel something again, places like Rameshwaram don't just carry history, they carry us. And maybe, just maybe, that's why we return.
Namah Shivaya.